Okay, let's talk about something big that's coming. A huge shift in how we handle our money and taxes here in Nigeria. And trust me, this affects every single person, whether you're in a 9 to 5 or you're running your own hustle online. So we're going to break down this new 2026 tax law nice and simple so you know exactly what's coming.
So let me just ask you straight up. When that calendar flips to January 1st, 2026, are you going to be ready? Look, this isn't just another small policy update. This is a complete rewiring of how money works in Nigeria. The clock is ticking, for real, and getting prepared now is everything.
You see, the key word here is connected. The government is now linking your NIN and your BBN to pretty much every financial platform you use. What does that mean? It means paying your taxes is about to go from something you should probably do to something you absolutely cannot avoid. There's nowhere to hide anymore.
All right, so let's jump into Section 1 and really unpack what this new tax era means for you and your hustle. So who's affected? Just look at this list. We're talking employees, freelancers, influencers, traders, content creators, remote workers. Basically, if you are earning any kind of income in Nigeria, this new law has your name written all over it. The net is wider than it has ever been.
Okay, now for the big one. The question that causes the most confusion and, let's be honest, the most fear. What exactly are they going to tax? Let's clear the air and bust some myths.
First things first, are they going to tax you every time someone sends you money or you deposit cash? The answer is a big, clear no. The government isn't taxing the simple movement of money. What they are taxing is your earned income. So your salary, the profits from your business, that's what matters. The difference between money just moving around and money you've actually earned.
And what about loans? Well, if you receive a loan, that money isn't income, right? So it's not taxed. But flip that around. If you're the one lending money out, any interest you make from that loan, yeah, that's profit. And that is definitely taxable. It's a really important distinction to make. Let's hit two more big areas. One, the money that's just sitting in your bank account, your savings, you can relax. That's not taxable. But, and this is a big one for everybody in the digital space, if you're making profits from crypto, from NFTs, or any other digital assets, you need to listen up. Those profits are now officially on the table to be taxed.
All right, now we get to the question that's on everybody's mind. So how much am I actually going to have to pay? Let's break down the numbers so you can see for yourself.
So here they are, the new personal income tax brackets. It's what you call a progressive system. Basically, the more you earn, the higher your tax rate. As you can see, it starts at 0% and goes all the way up to 25% for the highest earners. Just take a second, find your income range on this chart.
Now, this number right here is super important. 800,000 naira. If you earn this much in a year or less, guess what? Your tax rate is 0%. Zilch. This is the new tax-free threshold, and it's there to protect people on lower incomes.
But wait, it's not all about paying tax. There's actually some good news, especially for those of us who pay rent. The new law brings in a brand new tax relief specifically for renters, and this could really help lower how much tax you pay overall.
And here's the magic number for that relief, 500,000 naira. You can now claim 20% of your annual rent as a tax deduction, up to a maximum of 500K. But, and this is a big but, you must have the receipts and agreements to prove what you paid. No proof, no relief. Okay, for all my entrepreneurs, my business owners, my side hustlers, listen up. How you set up your business makes a huge difference in how you get taxed. So let's get into the rules for your specific hustle.
So the first thing you have to know is your structure. Is your business registered as just a business name or as a full limited liability company, an LLC? If it's a business name, the law sees you and the business as the same thing, so you just pay personal income tax on the profits. But if it's an LLC, the company is its own separate person, and it pays company income tax instead.
And speaking of LLCs, there is a massive exemption you need to know about. If your company's annual turnover is less than 50 million naira and your total assets are under 250 million, your company pays zero company income tax. Now, you still have to file your returns, but you won't pay a dime in tax. That's a game changer.
Phew. Okay, we've covered a lot. Who gets taxed, what gets taxed, how much, but this all leads to the most practical and urgent question of all. With all this information, what is the single most important thing you need to be doing right now to prepare?
And the answer, my friend, is right here. In this new era where everything is connected financially, the old game is over. It all boils down to one thing: your records, your digital records.
Now, I want you to read this and let it sink in. If you cannot prove the source of each transaction, it might be treated as income and taxed. This means any money that just shows up in your account without a clear explanation is a huge red flag for the tax man. Having proof is no longer a nice to have, it is your main line of defense.
And this means the old ways are dead and gone. That shoebox full of crumpled receipts, that little notebook where you jot down your sales, yeah, that's not going to cut it anymore. With banks and the tax authorities watching everything digitally, your records have to be digital, they have to be clean, and they have to be ready to go at a moment's notice.
So, if the huge problem is needing perfect digital records, what's the solution? How do you actually do this without losing your mind? Well, let's talk about that in our final section.
Because look, let's be real for a second. All these new rules, all these changes, it can feel like a lot. It can feel overwhelming. But staying on the right side of the law, it shouldn't have to be so complicated. It should be simple, it should be automatic, and it should give you peace of mind.
And this is exactly where a tool like NaraTrack comes in. It was literally built for this new reality. It helps you automatically track all your transactions. You can generate digital receipts instantly. Remember how important proof is. You can record your sales, your payments, customer info, and then when it's time to file, you just download clean reports that make it so simple.
Listen, January 1st, 2026 feels far away, but it's going to be here before you know it. The time to get your financial house in order isn't next year, it's right now, today. Don't wait until the deadline catches you unprepared. Go to naratrack.com, sign up for free, and start building the digital records that will protect your hustle. Get tax ready today.